All right. Well, guys, we are getting ready for the Warner Brothers showcase, which, from what I understand, is going to be much heavily on Back for Blood. They're going to be showing off that game, some gameplay, some different things with that. It is a game. I mean, I know Rick and I don't know, Calvin, Left 4 Dead. Did you play?
Yeah, I've played it.
Eric, you played Left 4 Dead, right? I think we. Are you? What are you saying?
Oh, I don't remember.
You don't remember?
No.
I know we used to play Left 4 Dead. I bought 2 Xboxes just because we could over at my house.
I don't think I've ever played.
I don't know if you were there or not. But being something similar to that, I'm hoping to see some really cool stuff. Some PvP. Maybe they'll showcase a little bit of that so we can see what the zombies can do. And
Zombies.
Yeah, we got zombies.
We got some zombies?
Zombies.
Zambonies?
We did have someone, Donkey King Kong's Dong, who said, "How do I rewatch the E3 reactions? There's no VOD. There are no VODs. There's no VODs. There's no clips during this E3 presentation.
Nope.
However, we've been slowly getting things put over to the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Be able to check some things out there. There may be some highlights to specific reactions and discussions, or there will at least be the entire showcases.
And you know what? If they like watching our Twitch on YouTube, where can they watch more? There's the Twitch official archive channel over on YouTube that you can find either in our main channel. If you go to like the home channel page, it's linked there, or you can just search it and find it because it's amazing.
Here it is now, Ackerman. It's starting now.
Thanks, Golden Boy. Hello and welcome to the Back 4 Blood PvP Showcase. If you don't already know, Back 4 Blood is an upcoming 4-player co-op zombie shooter made by the creators of Left 4 Dead.
I know.
Today we're diving deeper into the new
I didn't know
PvP
that.
mode called
I
Swarm,
haven't played.
how it works, and what you'll be doing. Maybe even a little bit of strategy.
Okay.
We'll also talk with Turtle Rock's lead game designer on Back 4 Blood, Brandon Yanez, to help piece it all together. Before we get there, though, let's start off with the reveal of a brand new PvP trailer and see what
This
it's
is
like
the
in
last
action.
game that Jancy was working on before she left WB.
Okay.
She said Turtle Rock's lead designer, but all I heard was Rock Lee. Tractor!
Sorry, the farm kid in me.
Round one.
Super excited. Not John Deere though.
Round 1. There's gonna be rounds.
Yeah, this is the big baddies versus humans.
No, I know it's PvP, but Left 4 Dead's PvP had no rounds. That's why.
So Eric, you complain about the tactics used in The Walking Dead. You can show us how it's done when we stream this.
Yes, I can
scared.
prove that I never make mistakes, ever.
I guess they did kind of have rounds a little bit, right? You would go through the levels and see who could get the farthest, then you go through the next section and stuff. So I suppose they did.
Don't stick together.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, so
Okay.
they either beat the level or died at 351s. So you had to try to get further and beat it in the time. It's interesting. It looks like there's in the Left 4 Dead, the specials weren't AIs, but it looks like you might have a mixture of specials and
Yeah.
as
Players.
AIs and people. Dude, they have like CC'd.
Not sure who's winning, but I don't think it's the humans. Ooh, open beta August
Early
5th.
access.
Tense. So there you have it, guys. Back 4 Blood's PvP mode Swarm. To hear more about it and to take a deep dive into the gameplay and the mechanics, we have Turtle Rock's lead game designer on Back 4 Blood, Brandon Yanez. Brandon, can you tell us a little bit about the inspiration of this new PvP mode and what makes it fun and unique?
Of course, so just like our previous titles, we really enjoy bringing new ideas to the table while retaining the spirit of the genre that we're working in. So Back 4 Blood's PvP is heavily inspired by our previous titles that mix survival, fast action, massive monsters, and a touch of horror. So our goal is to make a balanced and fun PvP mode with just as much replayability as the main campaign.
So what's the structure of the PvP like? Do you play it
it's
around?
surviving swarms for as long as you can.
Ridden in one match, or are we swapping between the two?
Yeah, so it's played as a best of 3 match. Teams of 4 take turns swapping between the ridden and cleaner players. The job of the cleaners is to scavenge supplies, find a good place on the map to fortify their position, and try to last as long as they can. The ridden's main objective is to kill the cleaners as fast as they can. So this is achieved by choosing the right ridden to counter the other team's strategy, using mutation upgrades, and by coordinating attacks with other AIs and players. As the round progresses, the swarm moves in, so this increases the size of the ridden attacks and shrinks the playable space, sometimes forcing the cleaners out of their favorable positions, right? So when a cleaner team is wiped from the field, the points are scored for how long they survive. Then both teams swap, and then they go at it from the other side. The team that runs the clock the longest as the cleaners is the winner.
Now, I understand you can play as all the different cleaners in both co-op and PvP. Do you have a favorite character that you play as?
So I have a couple. I play Mom a lot. She's a badass with a sawed-off shotgun. She adds a lot of survivability to the team. She can also instantly help teammates that have fallen during battle. All of our cleaners have special perks, so that one is hers.
Let's jump into another trailer that goes a little more in depth on the Ridden's progression through PvP. Check it out.
So each one has special perks, so that's cool. I wonder how many they have.
Reeker, that's got to be Calvin, right?
Oh, yeah, but they're each. It's like having a tank, but a tank can specialize in different things, right?
Yeah.
Master Exploder.
Stinger, Hawker, Stalker.
Uh-oh. Stream.
Our side.
Nope. I don't think so.
Crusher. Grab and squeeze. Crusher.
Eric seems like a bruiser.
Why?
You bruise easily.
I'll be the fast, small, grabby ones. Should seem fun.
I wonder how easy it is to change your mutations. Or do you just pick one?
It probably works like Doom Eternal and you pick it per match.
Probably.
Okay, so Brandon, we just saw that each different Ridden has their own variants as well as their own mutations on each variant. So can you expand a little more on these special abilities and how they work?
Sure. So at the start of each round, players can choose between 9 playable Ridden, each with their own unique abilities. So for example, the Stalker can pounce a player and pull them away from their team, or an Exploder can time their detonation in the middle of a group of cleaners and fling them all in separate directions.
Now, knowing that each Ridden has these different abilities, how do they change and improve throughout a match and improve the Ridden's chance of winning?
So as the Ridden battle against the cleaners, they gain points. They can spend these points on team-wide upgrades called mutations. Mutations upgrade and improve a lot of different things on the Ridden side, from adding effects to their abilities. They might buff the common AI waves in size and strength. So the really cool thing is so they affect the whole team, and they persist between rounds. So as a Ridden team starts to coordinate their upgrades, things can get pretty wild.
That sounds cool.
What are some strategies that the Ridden team can take on in order to get a leg up on the competition?
If the cleaners are really sticking together, you can swap to the Wretch and vomit on their location. That's going to cause them to spread out, right? This is going to open up a whole bunch of opportunities for your other Ridden players to attack, right? So if you get them to spread out and there's a Stalker nearby, Stalker will use the Chaos to grab one of the cleaners and drag them off into the swarm. The Wretch's vomit also slows their victims, so if a tall boy who's naturally pretty slow can attack one of those slowed characters, they're going to really be able to pummel them.
That one especially
Another
looks
big
like a
one is
Resident
if
Evil
a
character.
Exploder waits for
big arm.
a cleaner to go revive their friend. They can use that as an opportunity to charge in and detonate on them, sending them flying and doing
There's so many chasing after him.
Ooh, sounds pretty brutal. So with that being said,
When we
which is
play,
your
we should
favorite
all be
Ridden to
Exploders
play
all the
That
time.
has to be the tall boy. It's pretty easy to pick up and play, and have a lot of fun hitting cleaners across the map.
Speaking of fun, let's talk about weapons. Now, throughout the trailers, you can see a number of different weapons. Can you go a little deeper into what those weapons are and how they work?
So we really wanted to expand on the amount of choices the player had in Back 4 Blood with their weapon. So of course there's handguns, shotguns, LMGs, SMGs, sniper rifles, and a whole bunch of other types of weapons, each with sort of like a unique character feel to them.
Now, how deep does this weapon customization go? I really want to know. What are some of the different attachments and options, and how do they change the gameplay overall?
Absolutely. So there's a lot of different customization options for your weapons. So throughout the world, you can find scopes, silencers, stocks, sights, all that good stuff. You can mix and match them. So there's a ton of options.
Last question. Do you have a favorite type of weapon?
Absolutely. So as I said earlier, I really enjoy playing Mom, so her shotgun is definitely at the top of my list.
Ah, that's a solid choice. All right, we've learned a little bit
Can't go
about
wrong
how
with
it all
double-barrel
works,
shotgun.
the cleaners, the
Right.
ridden, the mutations, as well as how the customization works for the weapons. Thank you so much for joining me, Brandon, and for giving us a little bit more detail on Back 4 Blood's new PvP mode, Swarm.
Thank you,
Thanks
Brandon.
for having me. I can't wait for everyone to get their hands on this game. We're all really excited.
Ah, I can't wait either. The good news is that you guys won't have to wait too long. There's an open beta coming up on August 12th with an early access portion on August 5th available to those who pre-order. That's all for today, but Back 4 Blood still
should we
has
do
a lot
the
more to
beta?
reveal in the coming months, so stay tuned.
Wait till Scream Stream.
How dare
I
you?
mean, we could play the beta and get good so that we could show off on stream.
Sounds ridiculous. That's not the Blind Wave style.
That's
Go in
not what
blind.
I
does every
I don't
time.
do things like that. I'm just naturally good, Calvin.
So there's gave
that
us a
it?
little bit of the PvP thing. I don't think they're covering any of the main story aspects or anything of anything. That might be all. Looks like it's all.
All right.
Very quick.
And there you got
Went through
folks,
real quick there.
Back 4 Blood.
Alrighty. All right. Well,
right,
there's. Go ahead, Eric.
No, to say like this has been talked about or mentioned a couple of times at E3 so far, or at least before. And yeah, I had never played this game. I had no idea that you could also play the zombies. So this is what I learned today.
Yeah. Left 4 Dead brought in a PvP aspect where you could play as like the specialty zombies
I
and
had
stuff.
No idea.
They didn't have a mutation point upgrade, which is interesting. So
Yeah.
like say that we were all the zombies, say one of us was doing really well and the other 3 were struggling for a moment. The upgrades we pick could help to balance us out to where we can all
Gotcha.
start progressing a little bit better and getting more damage done to the bad guys or the cleaners or whatever. And then we can upgrade our whole team as a whole, which is really cool. I like that. I like it. It's not just like, well, one person will just start carrying everything and hopefully they can do it. You're working together to use your points to mutate and upgrade everybody. So
Yeah.
Yeah, cool
And
stuff.
it's cool that you can upgrade the swarm as well as yourself. So that's
Sure.
cool.
I think I like the swarming idea a little better than what Left 4 Dead had. Because as I was saying, Left 4 Dead was just, you had your levels and you would start in your safe room and then you would progress through the level. And sometimes there'd be little missions or objectives you had to complete in order to get to the next safe room. And what Left 4 Dead's PvP mode would be is that you were just playing that, traveling from one safe room to the next, and whichever team could get the farthest or complete the whole level the fastest, that was the one that would win, while the zombies are trying to stop them or kill them.
Yeah.
So with this one, it's more of a survive for as long as you can. So even though you go first, it doesn't matter if you can, if you complete the whole level in 2 minutes or whatever. It's just like, okay, well, they survive for 5 minutes. We have to try to outlast 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that a little bit, where it's just hold up, find some loot, and group up and work together on this part here. So,
Yeah.
and then that's not to say like that's just, they called that one Swarm PvP mode. They may have some other types of PvP modes as well,
Yeah.
which would be good to have.
Like maybe there's a PvP mode like in the dark where, the 4 zombie players have to like sneak in and like take one player at a time. Have to be like a lot more tactical about it.
Sure. They did mention that the zombie creatures have 9 playable,
Like subclasses?
it sounded like they had 9 playable classes with 3 unique each or something like that.
I think
thought-
there was 3 classes with 3 subclasses. So I think the heavy had like the brawler, the retcher, and the boomer or whatever it was, And then the
Boomer.
tall guy had the smasher, the grabber, and something else. And then the little one was like the grappler,
The grappler.
Yeah.
Wrecker, Hunter, and Tech, I think, too.
Yes. The last thing they mentioned that I'm glad for too is some customization of weapons. In like Left 4 Dead, there was what gun you found is what it had. There wasn't really much of changing anything. If you found this shotgun, it was that shotgun. You couldn't add anything to it or change it. The same thing with snipers. It's just like you had a hunting rifle sniper, or you had like a different type of sniper, but you couldn't switch out scopes or silencers or sights.
It's customization, but also it sounds like progression.
Sure.
Yeah. So like the further you go into the tighter spaces, maybe where it's more of a challenge to hold off a swarm, or maybe like the open areas, you get better upgrades for your guns to where it's easier to like keep your spray pattern on head level so you can take out more zombies at a time. Or
seems like a good strategic inclusion, like to add some more strategy into the team dynamics.
Like it might be a risk to go, 10, 20 feet away from the other 3 of the cleaners, but it might be worth it to get that upgrade. It's in that box over to the side.
Sure. And I wonder if you can can you hold on to any of this and swap things out later on? Or is it going to be you find it now, do you want to swap it now, or you don't get it?
Right.
Because
is there
that's
an
one thing too, is
to where you can grab something and take it to your teammate?
Yeah.
Or is it just, if it goes on your gun, you put it on your gun and then it's there till
if you
swap
pick
it
a scope
at the end
out
of the game.
You get that scope, you don't get to switch the sights later on. Or you can switch the sights, but you don't get to take that sight with you and swap them out later. You have to find another one further along or something. So I don't know. It's interesting. There's definitely some characteristics of it that I like and I'm looking forward to in the future. When did they say August 5th was early access, but there was a beta before or after that?
August 12th is the open beta, and then 5th, if you pre-order, you get into the early beta.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Alrighty. Did you guys have any other thoughts on the game or anything? Or Eric, I know like you said you learned something new this time.
I did.
Which is good. It's always good to learn something new.
It is.
I guess the other thing that I learned that they have, which I'm glad for, is the cleaners themselves are going to have their own special perks.
Mm-hmm.
Like they mentioned that the mom has instant revive.
Yeah.
And I don't think they mentioned how many cleaners they're going to have, like human characters.
How many classes?
Yeah. Like the Left 4 Dead was pretty much like, well, here's 4. You get these 4. And Left 4 Dead 2 was like, well, here's these 4. And then they kind of tossed in some other stuff. But there wasn't really
Back
much
4 blood seems to indicate 4, but
sure. But there wasn't really much of a difference between any of the characters in the old Left 4 Dead games. But in this one here, I wonder if you add in some more people and you do it a little bit more of like Dead by Daylight, some of those characters have their own little perks that you can utilize versus just being the same kind of characters. So Zeno says, I think that there's been 6 revealed so far.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that there'd be some interesting
cool.
ideas to have just different perks, maybe one can reload faster. And that might just be something handy to have to be able to reload faster.
Sure.
Especially in a swarm format or instant revives or whatever the case may be. So,
or be able to carry 2 primary weapons.
Yeah. Rather than having a shotgun and a pistol, you can take a machine gun and the shotgun. So
yeah.
I'm interested to see what they do. I think there's also some options available with the way they have things set up to add in some more content later, whether through just free updates or DLC or whatever, where it's like, well, here's some new playable characters and new maps and whatever else too. So it's always good to try to have a plan of well, what do we do with this game into the future? Is it just this, or can we add more and keep it growing with more content and stuff?
Sure.
I call the character with the grappling hook.
Damn. The only one.
But yeah, we might be able to play this earlier, or at least check it out during October's Scream stream, given that it has a release date of October something. I forget what it was.
25th. I'll double check.
I think you're right. I was trying to look on my list here of everything. I think it was in Xboxes.
October 8th.
Oh, good.
Is it 8th? I have 12th.
Wikipedia says 8, and it's never wrong.
Yeah.
But let me check the official website.
For an October release and early access on August,
Official website says the 12th.
So, looks interesting. I look forward to kind of playing it. I think it would be a really fun co-op game. And it might be a fun game, too, where we can play against viewers or something like that, too, where it's like, hey, you guys want to play? You guys try to kill us. You probably will.
It's a lot of it's a lot of sub fans' fantasies, I feel like, that they can live out in a virtual form.